lamp was dimmer than it should, though I had changed the bulb for good. The hallway sighed with weighted air, like it had something else to bear. The rug had curled beside the wall, a gesture small yet told it all. The window locked but let in less, a different kind of emptiness. I didn't say what I had planned, but still the house could understand. The house knew before I did. In every drawer and things half hid, the silence changed its way to sit. The floorboards paused, the clock unlit. It breathed without a word, the truth it had inferred. The photo shifted on the shelf, no longer smiling like myself. The kitchen sink began to hum, a low regret that didn't come. It felt it long before the break, and how the walls began to ache. The house knew before I turned. It held the weight of things unlearned. It pulled the curtains just so tight, as if it braced for missing light. Its silence wasn't poor, it simply knew before. Before the bags, before goodbye, before I let my shoulders sigh, it whispered through the frame and floor. I felt this long before you swore. The house knew before my tears. It sheltered all the hidden years. It didn't need to ask or plead. It held the space for what would bleed. More certain than the shore, the house had known before. And as I left, it didn't sway, just watched me pass and looked away. I stood where laughter used to lean, beside the couch that held a scene. The walls were warm, the lights still dim, but nothing reached the edge of skin. A photo blinked from crooked glass, 1,000 moments we let pass. I searched the room for something kind, but found I'd left myself behind. The voice was mine, the name still stayed, yet something deeper slipped away. A heart not recognized will beat in quiet rooms on silent streets. It knocks where love once knew the sound, but now just echoes underground. Still whole, still dignified, but just a heart not recognized. The kitchen knew my morning steps, the sink still caught the drops it kept, but every drawer I used to claim now held its breath when called by name. The key still turned, the air was sweet, but I was gone beneath the seat. A heart not recognized won't bleed. It walks beside what it used to need. It wears the songs we used to play, then hums them in a different way. Not bruised, just undefined. A heart once known, then left behind. Sometimes it's not the leaving feet, but how the eyes forget to meet. And in that glance that looks straight through, the strongest hearts begin to skew. A heart not recognized still gives. It breathes, it breaks, it learns, it lives. It holds the space we used to share, though now it pulses without care. Unseen, but dignified, still beating. Not recognized. So if one day you pass this place, it's there still keeping quiet grace. My fingers curled like winter bar, still holding echoes from the dark. The stretch of pain beneath the skin, where silence kept what once had been. My spine remembered where you stood, pressed into air like carved out wood. The ache was sharp then sweetly gone, like footsteps right before the dawn. I never spoke it out aloud, but still it bent beneath the shroud. Past tense in my bones remains, in every pause in shifting strains. It hums beneath the stretch and stride, a memory that chose to hide, not in words or scattered tones, but quiet past tense in my bones. The mirror caught my tilted frame, a shadow curved without a name. I dress the same, I breathe the same, yet something slowed inside the flame. The present moved, the future blinked, but something old still made me sing. Past tense in my bones won't fade, it lingers where regrets were laid. A name I flinch to write again, a door I pass but don't explain. Not more, not overthrown, just steady past tense in my bones. You left no mark for eyes to find, but still you shape the way I wind. Each step I take recalls your weight, a rhythm time cannot translate. Past tense in my bones survives, it breathes within unfinished lives. It doesn't plead, it doesn't weep, it lies where deeper stories sleep. Not lost, not fully shown, just etched inside these bones. And as I stretch through quiet air, it stirs, still waiting there. The curtain moved, but I looked down, afraid the wind might wear a frown. The photo frame stayed slightly turned, as if it feared what had been learned. The mail piled up near hollow shoes, unread, untouched with fading blues. I swept the floor but missed the dust that settled deep in broken trust. It waited in the space I crossed, in every atom I had tossed. I never faced it, though it stayed through every dusk and day that frayed. It stood behind the mirrored breath, it whispered in the quiet death of plans that dimmed then split. But still, I never faced it. The kettle hissed a distant cry, but I just let the steam drift by. I stirred my drink in circles slow, avoiding what I used to know. The radio hummed truth in chords, but I escaped through silent boards. I never faced it, not at dawn, not when the brighter hours were gone. It dressed in ordinary light, it asked for nothing but the night. It never threw or hit, just waited, unfaced, unlit. Some truths don't need to shout or glare, they just exist within the air. And when you breathe them without name, you feel the weight, but not the blame. I never faced it, yet it grew. It walked beside what I once knew. It filled the space I tried to fill. It taught me how to just stay still, unfought, but always lit. The truth, I never faced it. And still it waits beyond the glass, a presence I still let walk past. my steps at dawn. The floor remembered what had gone. I reached the table, touched the grain, still marked with lines that carried pain. The jacket hanging by the frame still wore the quiet, not the name. I passed the mirror once again. It held the shape, but not the wind. I carry what was left unsaid in rooms where silence softly spread. I walk with the unsaid each day, through doorways shaped by what won't stay. Not haunted, just aligned with grace, where memory hides in commonplace. It speaks without a thread. This life I walk with the unsaid. The coffee sat untouched, still full. The sky outside turned faint and dull. I watched a bird land on the rail, then fly again beyond the pale. I never learned to speak its flight, but knew its pulse held something right. I walk with the unsaid through time, where glances rhyme more than a line. No echo shouts, yet meaning stays beneath the dust between the days. Not loud, not softly led, just held by all that's left unsaid. Some truths don't bloom where words reside. They wait in corners we can't hide. And when we pass, they brush aside a comfort we had never tried. I walk with the unsaid. It's mine. It fills the cracks I left behind. No scripts, no vows, no need to claim, yet still it walks beside my name, alive in things we've never said. It's where I walk with the unsaid. The light grows long, the day turns dim, but still I walk, remembering them. silence between the curtains sway, where golden hours lost their way. I wasn't sure what I had seen. A half-formed thought I might have been. It shimmered once across the sink, then vanished quicker than a blink. But something in the way it bent remained inside each room I went. It wasn't full, it wasn't clear, yet still it stayed throughout the year. The glimpse that stayed knew how to hide between the dust and shifting tide. It lived in corners barely seen. It colored dreams in shades between, not held, not chased away. It lingered as the glimpse that stayed. A shadow curved beneath the light, too soft to touch, too small for fright. It never asked to be believed, yet still it shaped what I perceived. It never grew, it never spoke, but wrapped around the things I broke. The glimpse that stayed was not a face, but more a silence time can't trace. It passed through me and didn't move, yet left behind a silent proof, not bound, not framed in shade, but kept alive the glimpse that not every flesh fades with the day. Some carve their place and choose to stay. And when I walk where dusk has bled, it's there again, just up ahead. A sliver I still walk beside, unspoken but it breathes in me. A moment that refused to flee. It taught me what remained. That glimpse that always stayed, and in each pause I see a trace quiet light I still embrace. The morning sat across the bed, unmoved by what I should have said. The air was warm, the coffee cold, as if the hours had grown old. The cold rack stood like time on pause, still holding winters I once caused. The hallway light hummed soft and low, too patient for the things I'd show. They didn't push or plead for change, just lingered in a quiet rage. Days that waited, never asked. They wore the dust, they held the mask. They sat behind unopened mail, inside the scent of stories stale. Not rushing, not sedated, they stayed. Those days that waited. A calendar still marked last spring. The ink bled through, unraveling. The clock hands ticked, but just in place, like spinning in a still embrace. They didn't fade or beg for life, they lived beneath the edge of night. Days that waited, didn't shout, they circled silence all throughout. They filled the chairs, they watched the door. They knew what I was aching for, not broken, not elated, just there. The days that waited. They held the breath I didn't take. They watched the parts of me that ache. And though I tried to walk away, they stayed behind, but not astray. Days that waited shaped the room. They lit the dusk, they held the gloom. They understood my steady drift and never asked for any shade. still present, understated. They live as days that waited. The frame still held the morning air, with scent of rain and linens wear. A coat I left still hung with grace, its sleeves untouched, its quiet place. The knob was cold, the lock unchanged, yet something deeper felt estranged. The walls had learned to breathe apart, without the pulse that filled the start. I left no words upon the wall, yet absence spoke across it all. A door without me still stands wide. Its frame remembers where I cried. The floor, no steps I used to trace, now faded in their former place. Not broken, not set free, just waiting with no me. The lamp still flickers soft and low. It doesn't ask where I might go. The chairs still lean the way they did, as if the silence gently slid. I never told the room goodbye, but it exhaled as I passed by. A door without me knows the sound of shadows walking deeper ground. It doesn't need to speak or sway, it simply waits for none teacup held a hint of dust, as if the steam learned to rust. The curtain breathed a steady line, like nothing passed beyond its spine. The shelf still bowed beneath the weight of unread books that mimic fate. The clock hand shook but didn't chase. They circled slow, they kept their place. It didn't change with how I feel. It stood the same, it stayed surreal, still as it was, without a name. It didn't grieve, it didn't claim. The hallway echoed old perfume, a ghost that danced across the room, not clinging just because, but simply still, as it was. The shoes remained beneath the bed, as if they waited to be led. The window blinked a softer hue of days I thought I once outgrew. It didn't shift when I returned. It let me feel what time had been, still as it was, not out of spite, but out of calm and quiet right. The picture frame still held its I spoke into the empty chair. The fabric held a quiet stare. The ceiling cracked with age and grace, but never looked me in the face. The hallway swallowed every tone, like dust that gathered on the phone. The echo found a softer wall that never meant to hear it all. I shaped the air with steady breath, but sound just sank beneath its depth. My voice didn't matter, not by sound. It passed through light, it touched no ground. It danced along a window's glass that slipped into the fields it passed. Not shattered, not in tatters, just lived where nothing matters. The journal stayed beneath the sea, still filled with thoughts too faint to ink. A melody I hummed one night fell silent in the kitchen light. It wasn't silence I had sought, but space too full to hold the thought. My voice didn't matter in the room. It never stirred the heavy gloom. It wasn't mist, it wasn't weight. It floated where the shadows played, not broken by the chatter, just unheard like it didn't matter. I once believed a word could stay, but some are built to drift away. And in that drift I came to see what spoke the loudest wasn't me. My voice didn't matter, still it stayed in corners where the silence played. It held a weight, it knew its place, a soundless scream in quiet space. Still full, still shaped, still fatter than silence that just shatters. And though the world forgets its sound, it's in me still not lost, just drowned. spoon was still upon the plate, as if the moment ran too late. A shirt hung loose behind the door, still shaped like someone came before. A calendar stuck on July, the sun now weaker in the sky, yet here remain the signs and threads of thoughts we wore but never said. It should have slipped with passing days, but found a home in quiet way. What time forgot to hold is here, in drawers that hung yesteryear, in creeks beneath the midnight step, and dreams the curtain slowly kept. Not planned, not bought or sold, but simply what time failed to hold. The radio buzzed an empty tune, still tuned to voices lost by noon. The pages curled, the pencil stayed, marking a thought that never played. No wind had touched it on the sill, yet something breathed so faint, so still. What time forgot to hold won't leave. It lingers where the ceiling grieves. A name half said, a step delayed, a word that barely made the grade. Not caught, not brave, not bold, just gently what time didn't hold. Not everything was meant to stay, but some things never found a way. And in that gap where years unfold, live pieces time forgot to hold. What time forgot to hold survives, not loud but etched in quiet lives. It waits beneath the stories told, a thread not pulled, a hand not cold. Still here, still soft, still whole. The part of me time didn't hold. And when the clock begins to slow, it's there I feel what time let go. Hold I ever Oh, we didn't echo back, just held the light a little slack. The plate still sat without its pair and filled the room with muted air. The closet stayed half closed all week, as if it knew I wouldn't speak. The couch grew wide without your weight, its quiet shape would hesitate. It wasn't absence like a wound, it lingered soft, it barely moved. I remember the empty well, it had a taste, a certain spell. It filled the blinds with heavy sun and made the quiet overrun. Not vanish suddenly, but present hauntingly. The key still hung beside the frame, unused but hanging just the same. The towels dried without intent, their fibers dulled, their edges bent. I never named what wasn't there, but felt it settle in the chair. I remember the empty sound and creaks that barely touch the ground. It shaped the night in softer folds and spoke through what the silence holds. Not broken, just set free, and somehow part of me. Two cups that warm untouched by lips. The steam dissolved like sinking ships. The air between our quiet frames was filled with almost remains. The window caught a light too gray, too soft to chase the words away. You looked at me, but not all through, as if you paused before you knew. The silence didn't rise or fall, it simply held us wall to wall. In the still between us, time went slow. It traced the things we didn't show. The breath we took, the hands not moved, the quiet left us both unmoved. Not anger, not mistrust, just stillness. Thick as the clock forgot to push ahead. It blinked instead at things unsaid. The world kept turning far beyond, but we just sat and stared and yawned. It wasn't fear, it wasn't doubt, just something that we lived without. In the still between us, nothing broke, but neither of us dared to poke. It held our names, it knew our weight, it hung inside that silent state. Not lost, not fierce, not just, but there. Between the birds feel thin, that stillness walks where we had been.